Good morning and welcome to Prenatal Yoga. So to begin with, just making sure that you have everything nearby you, some water, making sure that you go to the toilet anytime you need to, or having any snacks by your side, just in case you get a bit hungry. And just remembering that that's fine, just keeps your energy levels up for you as you are carrying and growing a baby. So making sure that you have a blanket or as many blankets as you think you might need, some pillows. If you don't have a bolster, so anything that's quite thick, that can really support you. And we'll begin. So coming into Sukhasana, a seated chair pose. So you're just going to cross your legs, allowing you to give you space. So obviously today's prenatal, but you can do this at any stage of pregnancy. So it's just choosing what's supported for you and making any adjustments throughout the practice that you need or taking rest. So we're going to come into our Ujjayi breathing. So our Ujjayi breathing is just breathing in and out through the nose. And what we're doing is we're sealing the lips and we're creating a slight constriction at the back of the throat. And when we exhale the breath, we're creating sounds of the ocean. So it can be an internal sound that you hear, or it can be a little bit more vocalized and a little bit louder. So to begin, we're going to take a deep inhale through the nose, breathing in. Exhale, sealing those lips, constricting the throat, and exhale, making that noise. Breathing in and out. Exhaling all the breath out. Breathe in and out. Doing this 3 more times in your own timing. And once you've done your 3 rounds, just come back to your normal breath. It's just breathing in and out, not having to think about anything. We're going to come into our seated side bend. So we're going to place one hand down onto the floor and then inhale, taking the right arm over to the left side. So taking your hand as far or as close as you need it to support the body, opening the chest out, expanding that arm over, taking your eyes look up or down, or might just look straight in front. And just feeling, grounding down that right hip. Really creating that nice stretch to the side of the body. Taking 5 breaths here, breathing in and out. In and out. 3 more times. When you're done, lifting up, taking your time, and then coming over to the opposite side. 5 rounds of breath, just breathing in and out through your nose. And circling those arms up, taking your hands to your knees. We're just going to come and do some body circles. So for body circles, we're staying in our seated position and we're taking the weight forward and around, creating that circle. So we're going to dome through the belly and reach forward and back. Doing this 5 times. So take your time getting through every corner of the room or every part of your body. And once you've done your 5, you're going to reverse it to the opposite direction. And come back through to the center. Beautiful. Now you might like to interlace your fingers and then dome through the shoulders, dome through your belly, relaxing your neck over. And then release up, lifting the spine, and then come back down. And up. And release. And up. 2 more. Doming through. And up. Last one. Stay here for 2 rounds of breath. And then releasing up, releasing the hands down. We're going to come into some cat-cow. So we just did a cat position sitting. So that might feel more supportive for you. Or we can come into all 4s, so our neutral cat. So this is where you might find a blanket really comfy for you because you have that cushioning under your knees. So your knees are under, feet are rested, and it's okay to have your toes tucked if it doesn't feel comfortable to rest the tops of your feet on the floor. And then just taking your hands under your shoulders, create a nice flat back. We're going to drop the belly down, lift the chest and eyes up. Then we're going to dome through the belly, tuck the chin, round through the shoulders. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Doing this 5 more times in your own timing. You don't have to follow me, as your breath might flow differently, different paces. Once you've done your 5 rounds, just going back to a neutral spine. Now we're just going to create some rolling motions of the belly. So you can go one direction. So it's like you're dropping the belly, or it's like we're in the seated position and we're doing the body circles, but we're doing on all 4s. Then you want to reverse it to the opposite side. And then coming back to the center. Taking that moment to take a deep breath in and out. We're going to come into some kneeling arm pointers. So to begin with, we're going to extend one leg back at a time. So option to have your foot on the ground or extend it up. Then we want to draw the knee in and then out. In and creating some strength through the body, through our legs and our arms, and out some through our core. Making sure that you continually breathe. And place the knee down, changing sides, so shifting your weight over, and extend your right leg, lifting it up, or just leaving it where it is and then sliding it into your nose. Option to place it down or up. Bring it in and out. In, out. 3 more times. And knee comes down. Something to do with your arms, so your right arm goes out first. Holding it there. Open it out to the side. Draw it back in through to the middle and lower down. Change sides. Left arm out. Open, out, and down. Right arm, extended out, in, down. Keep going. Hold there and tuck your toes and slowly start to walk your hand onto your thighs, and we're going to come into crooked toes. Now this might not feel comfortable for you, so you might like to grab a pillow and stick it under your legs and then sit back down. And we're just going to stay here, so taking your time to get into this position. When we transition, just relax the shoulders, allowing your hands to rest on either the top of your thighs or maybe just down by your side if that feels comfortable for you. Remember that at any time you can release the toes and just drop down like this. Holding there. Coming back to your Ujjayi breathing, if you like, breathing in and out. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. And slowly release, walk your hands out, untuck the toes gently. And then we're just going to open the right arm up to the ceiling. Staying here. And then place it down, changing arms. And release. 2 more rounds. Last one. And release. Now we're going to come into our child's pose. So dropping your knees down, or taking your knees wide, bottom comes down to your heels, and then you rest down onto your head. Now if you have a pillow, a bolster or box, you can place the pillow in front of you. Rest your chest onto the bolster or pillow and just relax your arms wherever they feel comfortable. Staying here for a moment. Making sure you're comfortable. You might like to take your knees out a little bit wider. Taking some deep breaths in and deep breaths out. And then slowly start to walk your hands back in, lifting yourselves up, moving pillow or blocks to the side. And we're going to come into our gate pose. Now this is a great stretch as it stretches the pelvis and assists with digestion. So onto your knees, so folding the blanket as many times as you need. Now you can have your hands to start off with and extend your right leg out to the side. So we want to try to make sure that they're in line. And then we lift up. Again, this also depends on how far along you are in your trimesters. So obviously working your way up so it's safe for yourself. So you're going to turn the foot parallel to the front, and then we're going to come into our side. So placing your hands on your hips, take your left arm up and take it over. Now you might like to remove the hand and glide it along the right leg. So we're getting a nice stretch. So we're really opening the body, giving it room to grow, holding there. Taking 5 deep breaths in and out through the nose. So whether this means for some of Riti you're doing 2 counts in and 2 counts out for your breaths. And then opening the arm up. Slowly place the hands down, take that knee in, extend your left leg out. Get yourselves up nice and comfortable. Choosing to leave your hand on your hip or glide it down the leg while you bring the right arm up and over. Five rounds of breath in your own time. Choosing your counts. Equal part breathing. And slowly release from there. Take your hands down and tuck your toes. Walk back onto your heels or onto your block, sitting down for a moment, making any adjustments. And then when you're ready, place the hands down, lower your heels, and start to come into forward fold. Relax here for a moment by taking a deep breath in, allowing your hands to be placed onto the floor with a deep knee bend. Gently start to roll up, walking up through the legs. Your head should be the last thing to come up. Now, you can move your mat here if it doesn't feel very comfortable or very stable. So we're going to come into our warrior 2. So if throughout your practice you're suffering from any pelvic issues such as pubic symphysis or sciatica, it's really important that you draw your legs in closer together to help with the pain. Otherwise, if you're not really suffering from any of that, you can come into your wide warriors. So just working through what feels comfortable for you at any time, making any adjustments if you need to draw your legs in closer to each other. So we're going to come into warrior 2. So it doesn't matter if your warrior doesn't look similar to mine. It's what's working best for you. You're still in the pose, it just looks a little bit different. So we're going to take the right leg out, bending the right knee, left leg is extended long, foot parallel to the front. We open the arms up. Now we want to look over the middle finger, bending that knee. Now we're going to create some strength through our legs, because our legs are what supports us, and especially through your pregnancy, you want to have a nice, strong, supportive body. So we're going to inhale, extend the legs and arms up to the ceiling. So we're straightening both legs and then lowering down as we exhale the breath. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to breathe. Exhale down. And as we're doing this, maybe taking the time to notice, or if you're aware of your pelvic floor. So as we inhale, we lift up through the center of the body. And as we exhale, we release those muscles. Inhale to lift. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Holding here. So when we talk about our pelvic floors, we're engaging and lifting up. So we're pulling, and then as we exhale, we release. And it doesn't matter if you're breathing in or out. We don't want to control the pelvic floor with breathing in and then out. You can do it on the exhale as you pull up, or the inhale, etc. So just breathing in and out through your nose, practicing engaging and releasing. And then we're going to release from here, changing the legs over and extending the arms out. So again, you might be here and that might feel right for you if your legs are drawn together. So left foot to the side, right foot parallel to the front. Finding a little lunge there. Arms out, shoulders are relaxed. Now that might not feel comfortable for you. You might like to place your hands onto your waist, and that might look like this. So plenty of options. We're going to start to breathe in and out. In and out. And again, start to think about your pelvic floors. So while we're up, maybe releasing and then exhale, lifting up. So we're alternating the breath so that you get used to lifting your pelvic floors without the control of inhaling and exhaling. You can do it any time with your breath. As you exhale, you might pull up, or as you inhale, you pull up. Two more. Last one. Release your arms, staying where we are. We're going to shift the weight over. Place your hand on your thigh with your shin, and we're going to come into Trikonasana, so our triangle pose. Now, if you have any blocks or bolsters, you might like to have it out in front of your leg and push onto it to support you. And throughout your pregnancy, as your belly grows, you might find that giving yourself extra height might allow yourself to open up for the baby, creating that space and that room. So just holding here. Now we don't want to dump in the shoulder, so we want to lengthen up out through the arm. So reaching the fingertips up high, opening the chest, creating that stability through our body. Bring your attention to your breath and noticing how you're feeling. Staying here for 5 rounds of breath. Breathing in for 2 and out for 2. Now if your hand gets a bit sore or tired, you might like to take your hand down and your elbows up towards the ceiling instead. And slowly release by lifting up, walking the hands up, changing your legs over to the opposite side, reaching your ribs or placing one hand down as you slide it down, extending that left arm up, opening the chest, opening through the shoulder blades, extending out your fingers. Remembering your eyes can look down or up to the ceiling. You might like to place your hand on your hip, elbow up. If that doesn't feel right, you can also take a bend in the knee. And that might mean you place your hand just above the knee joint, maybe resting your hand on your thigh. Holding there. And slowly release the hand when you've done your rounds of breath. So 5 rounds, breathing in and out through the nose. And then gently bring yourselves up, walking your feet in slightly, coming into goddess pose. So the knees are out. Again, we're going to work on the legs, so creating that strength for you. And then take your arms out so they've fanned out like a cactus. You breathe in, lifting up, and then down. Lift up, and down. So squeezing your glutes and engaging your legs as you rise, reaching your arms, then lower down, holding there, lift up. So squeeze your glutes tight, engage through your quads, then down, lift up, and down. One more time, lengthen up, and down. Take your hands to your thighs, lift yourselves up, turn your feet parallel to the front. Now if you have a pillow or a block, placing it out in front of you if you feel like you need one. Taking your hands to your hips, feet are parallel to the front. We're going to come into our wide-legged forward fold. So you're just going to tilt forward from the hips, creating that flat back. Then you might like to place your hands into the blocks or bolster or to the floor. So if you have that range, your hands will come down to the floor. Otherwise, if it feels more supportive to have your hands on something to elevate your body, I recommend that you do what feels right for your body and right for yourself. Holding there. If you like and it feels comfortable, you can take your knees to bend. They don't have to be straightened. Now lifting out of your shoulders. So allowing the crown of your head to reach to the front of the room. Then you're going to move your right hand so that's in line with the center of your chest. Inhale the left arm up to the ceiling. And then maybe place it behind your back if that feels right for you. Otherwise, just leaving it up. Pushing into the block or to the floor. Lifting out of those shoulders. Holding it there. And then place the hand down, switching with the right so that your left hand is in center with your chest. Inhale the right arm up. And then place the hand down. Rolling your block down. You're going to make your way down into Malasana. So you're lowering your bottom down onto the floor or onto your pillow or blocks. So getting yourself in a nice comfortable position. So your Malasana might look like this without sitting on any props that you have, but it might feel comfortable to feel a little bit more supported and a little bit grounded into the floor. So taking your legs or knees as wide as you need them. Then you're going to take your hands to the center of your chest, gently pushing the knees out and staying here for a moment. And while you're here, you might like to think of the pelvic floors. So you might like to do a little bit of an exercise here. So coming out of Malasana and just crossing your legs out in front of you, getting yourselves in a nice seated position. And a bolster might not feel comfortable, so you might like to be sitting on a cushion. And so to begin with, we're going to feel that drawing up through the center and then releasing completely. Breathing in and out through the nose. And doing this about 10 times. And if it's not making 100% sense to you, you might like to place your hand under your bottom and then noticing as you pull up, as you exhale, you feel the body sink down into your hand. So this is when you know that you're doing it correctly, when you're lifting up through the pelvic floor and then releasing and softening those muscles down. Breathing in and out. Otherwise, imagining as a tissue box. So when we pull the tissues out, that's us lifting up. And once it's out, we relax and the tissue falls down and it softens. So you breathe in and out. And remember not to go on your inhale to lift up and exhale. Do it any time that you're breathing. You'll be holding it for that 2 seconds and slowly release it. And then slowly release. Move your block or your bolsters or cushions and just take your legs out to the side. So we're going to come into our wide angle seated forward fold. So from here, keeping your legs out as wide as you can, lifting up nice and tall through the back. Then you're going to walk your hands out in front of you, creating a nice stretch. Now if you have blocks, you could stack them on top of one another, or you could grab your bolster or cushions and rest your hands on top. And this again just allows for when your belly is going to create that space for you to still be able to do stretches and really enjoy yoga throughout your pregnancy. Taking a deep breath in and out. Breathing in for 2 and out for 2. And slowly sit the left up. And we're going to cross the legs, come back into Sukhasana. And while we're here, just coming back in towards your breath and your body, noticing how you feel. And we're going to come into Shavasana, so we're going to come into our final resting pose. So you can set yourself up with any blocks or bolsters that you might have nearby you. And again, so propping yourselves up, making sure it's nice and sturdy. So this will still work as well if you have a pillow, like a nice maybe a memory foam pillow, because they're quite a little bit more sturdy for you. So you're elevating yourselves up and you're placing the base of your sit bones at the end of the pillow, and then coming into Baddha Konasana with your soles of your feet, and then resting your head down. So making any adjustments you need. Shimmying back. Relax the head down. And allowing the arms to go out to the side or hands down. So if you don't have any blocks, you could use pillows and stack them up to keep your body elevated. If this doesn't feel stable enough for you, you might like to remove the blocks. And we're going to be laying on our left side, as when baby grows, sometimes the oxygen can cut off through the vena cava. So we want to make sure that our baby can breathe in. We don't have any problems with like our blood pressure and stuff like that. So you might like to have your block or pillow out in front of you. So extending out, using your arm as a pillow. You might like to rest your leg or bring that in a little bit closer. Resting your leg out and staying here. Now some women might find it comfortable to still be on their backs, but it's not always recommended that you stay on your back.